Hey everybody, today's video is about a jutting neck. If you want to avoid getting a jutting neck, you're going to need to stick with me throughout this whole video to understand first what a jutting neck is, what's happening, what's causing it, and how to deal with it, and some other related pathologies that go along with this. Okay, so first of all, most people think this is just a consequence of aging. It's not. It's not aging, it's disease. So if you understand this disease process, then you can begin to reverse it and keep it from ideally happening in the first place. Okay, so I want to challenge the perception. A lot of people think that aging is why we fall apart. It's not aging, it's not a number, it's disease. So we're going to get into the jutting neck. So basically, that neck is no longer straight and upright like it should be. Because it's now diseased, and with it is a lot of other disease process. See these sagging muscles? So the sagging muscles is the story about the sagging neck and head, the jutting neck. And this doesn't have to happen when you're older. It can start happening. I see people that are in their 30s with this happening because they're not aware of this process, and it's getting worse, and it's alarming me. These are actually public figures, and I see this neck getting worse because their pathology is getting worse. So where does it start from is actually what has caused this. So those sagging muscles are also causing a weakened abdomen, and it is what's happening here is your guts. Your muscles in your guts are so weak, muscles in your abdomen, rather, are so weak, they can't hold your guts in anymore. And so your guts start settling down and then pushing out. And nobody's telling you about why you're getting the jutting neck, why you're getting that protruding abdomen, but we're going to show you exactly what's going on. Now, unless you think this is only something you should be concerned about if you have a belly like that, you should be concerned about it if you have a belly like my friend here. So my friend here has an abdomen that's pushing out just a little bit, okay? So the dad bod that was present in this former picture, instead of having a big dad bod, this is a small dad bod. And your anterior aspect of your abdomen, your waistline, should go straight up. And so because my friend's abdomen is protruding out, he's got a small dad bod. It's an early dad bod. He's in his 30s in this photograph, and he had quite a bit of visceral fat inside. But it's not visceral fat pushing out. It's the influence over time of that visceral fat weakening his abdominal muscles. And so when those muscles weaken, they can't hold your guts anymore, and your pecs start sagging, and you can't hold your neck up straight anymore. Your neck starts, being crooked, and so does your back because those muscles weaken. So we're going to explore that a little bit in this photograph here. All right, so this is an individual that has an excessive amount of visceral fat, visceral adipose tissue. So visceral fat is this white stuff all in the middle. But that same process that caused that visceral fat to be deposited in the middle of your abdomen also is causing fat to be deposited in your muscles. These muscles should be all dark, but see all those white streaks in those muscles? That's deposition of inflammatory fat called myosteatosis, adverse muscle composition. So those fatty, inflammatory deposits of fat are going in, destroying your beautiful muscles. But it's not just here, but check this out. These muscles down here in your back. So this individual is laying on their back. This is their belly button. See the dark spot? So they're laying down on their back, going through an MRI scanner, and look at these fatty infiltrates in their muscles. So that inflammatory fat is invading those muscles. Do you know what those muscles are called right there? The erectae spinae muscles. They keep your spine erect. Well, how effective do you think your muscles are going to be at keeping your back nice and straight if they're infiltrated, they have all this inflammatory fat invading them? They're going to suck, and nobody's going to warn you about this. So all this visceral fat is developing in your abdomen, causing your muscles in your abdomen to get weak and your belly to stick out. The same inflammatory fat is now destroying your beautiful muscles, and you don't have good posture. You don't stand up erect. I got a very crooked posture, when I was in my 40s. Now, Dr. Sean stands up nice and straight. I'm 60 years old because I got rid of that inflammatory fat, first in my abdomen and then out of my muscles. So now my muscles are performing much better. So you want to be aware of this process. And the only way to really be aware of it is get an MRI. And you got to read it, or you got to come to me so that I can read it for you and work with you, because your doctor will not read it for visceral fat. They literally will not. People don't believe me. They go out and get MRIs. Then they get mad at their doctor for not reading it. I'm telling you, your doctor cannot read it, okay? No radiologist can read it. They don't know how. They don't do it, except for one, Dr. Anna Rosa. She's the first radiologist in the world to start reading visceral fat and myosteatosis. So let's take a look at that relationship a little bit more to visceral fat and muscles, okay? I have mentioned this in other videos, but it's important. Again, this visceral fat all in here also corresponds to the fatty infiltrates in these muscles, the obliques and the abdominis rectus and the erector spinae muscle, but here are the muscles of the legs. So look how infiltrated, invaded with fat the legs are. All those white streaks, that's Wagyu beef. That's like human, marbleized tissue, human muscle, all marbleized, like Wagyu, human Wagyu legs, okay? And this guy here is Matadi, Emmanuel Matadi, a world-class sprinter, who's got a teeny tiny bit of visceral fat. And look how beautiful his muscles are, all nice and solid. There's no human marbling whatsoever. And these are his legs. Now, just because this is lighter, just is from exposure, what you should notice is that he does not have any of the fatty streaks in those legs. Okay, so they're nice and lean. He doesn't have the white streaks up. It's not so much the color, it's the absence of these white streaks. Okay, so beautiful, healthy legs because he doesn't have visceral fat. So if you want healthy muscles that do their job at whatever age you are, then you want to get rid of inflammation that comes from visceral fat and the fatty infiltrates that go on in the musculature. So let's take a look at another one of my clients. He's got an obvious dad bod here when he came to see me, and enormous amount of visceral fat, and the visceral fat had been working in his life for decades. So he's got a weakened abdomen, and then when 3 months go by, he's eliminated almost all of his visceral fat, and we'll take a look at what that looks like on these scans, okay? So when he came, filled with visceral fat here, and then by time 3 months had gone by, just 3 months, look how much visceral fat he had eliminated. So a significant amount of elimination of visceral fat. And, when you get really healthy across the board, you just don't get, one little area of your body. Your whole body gets healthy when you work to biologically optimize. Everything gets better. It's not like, a doctor's treating just one problem. We treat the whole body in my practice. We biologically optimize the whole body. So also that fat around your heart, big chunk of fat that my client had surrounding his heart, look how much it had been eliminated in that short period of time. So by getting rid of that. So let me, this is Dr. Sean just last week. Okay, so I've got a good figure. Step out of my way. I'm not falling apart. Okay, and you at the age of 60, you should stand tall and look good. Okay, so you do that by getting rid of disease in your body, so you can start putting on muscle. Even though I'm in my 60s, I continue to put on muscle tissue at a much higher rate than other 60-year-olds because now I've gotten rid of that inflammatory response, visceral fat. I call it the Heisman. It pushes away your body's ability to heal. And when you get rid of that inflammatory process, then as you do things, your body starts improving again, just like you were in your teens and your 20s. So it's like the secret fountain of health is really getting rid of visceral fat in this infiltrating process. All right, so let's take a look at you can take a screenshot of my strategies that I give away for free on social media, okay? I tell you how to do it, how to get rid of visceral fat, how to get rid of fatty infiltrates within your muscles, how to get rid of fat around your heart, open up clogged arteries, these things right here. I give it away free. Now, some of you are going to be able to do this and have fantastic results. Others are going to struggle. And to the degree that you apply these things and you have insights and you're motivated, you'll get better results. But a lot of these last ones are, here, number 6, optimizing certain things. So optimizing nitric oxide, optimizing your microbiome, optimizing oxytocin, sleep, sunshine, vitamin D, chaperone protein molecules, autophagy, and adiponectin. So these things are not intuitive, and you can't find them very easily. You basically have to be a researcher. But I'll make appeal to you. If you're really motivated and you want to be the best biological version of yourselves, and you have the financial ability to get these MRIs, and you have more money than you have time, so you don't have time to go out and do this, and it makes sense. Come consider working with me. Message me, get a hold of me through my website, and I will study you in this process to help refine this and be able to write a book down the road and be able to give this away. But I do need people to study and look for people finding certain new biomarkers that are changing all the time inside the body by MRI and outside the body. So when you come work with me, we take a lot of photographs and a lot of video, teach you how to track things outside the body, because we know our ancestors didn't use MRIs, but the MRIs give us great insights to what else is improving on the outside of the body. So anyway, looking for some motivated people, and hopefully you'll be able to do that. All right, to sum this up, the jutting neck is nothing more than an invasion of the musculature causing weakening in your postural muscular skeletal system. So you get that weakened neck, jutting head, you get sagging muscles. And the other thing you end up with is a lot of other things falling apart. So you get a swollen prostate, you get erectile dysfunction. Women, you get pelvic organ prolapse, the relaxation of your pelvic structures and causing prolapse of your organs out, literally can come out of your vaginal canal and start exiting your body, your uterus and your bladder. Which may necessitate having to have surgery or mechanical devices, pessaries, to push this up. So the body should not be falling apart because you age. The body falls apart because you have disease. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please reply with comments and questions. I love interacting with my community. Plus, it also lets YouTube know, God, this was an interesting video, and they'll share it with other people. So would like to do our part to get this word out there. I'm giving this stuff away, so share it with other people. And if you like this video and you can think of somebody else that has a jutting neck or a protruding abdomen or an enlarged prostate, erectile dysfunction, or just looks like they are aging, share this video with them. I'd appreciate it very, very much. All right, well, thank you very much for the opportunity and the privilege to be able to share my passion, which is health optimization, with you. And we will look for you on other optimizing videos. Dr. Sean out.